Hello everybody, welcome to a new Madden season, new video, new me. I know I haven't posted on this channel in a very long time. Sorry for that. Also, headband's back. Hair's too long. If I don't have it on, my hair will literally just be like this. I'll be swagging emo style. But I'm here to go through all the new stuff, and this is going to be first video of 3 I have planned for today. So hopefully you guys enjoy. Let's get right into it. Talk about all the new settings, everything when you're setting up your franchise. So right here, you create a new league, and I'm just going to use the real life roster. It just makes sense. Go to preseason week 1, and then favorite team, we'll just do Packers. We'll just do it because for fun. If you wanted to, you could change your role. You could become a player, owner, and I'm sure once you click player, you have the option to use an active NFL player if you wanted to. So there's that, or you could become the owner and have a little bit more control over other than just using the head coach role, which is what I typically do anyways. But you could use the current coach or use custom one and just make your own if you wanted to. One of these two things right here, stat builder and team builder, you get different stuff. You guys could see like secret stuff. I don't know what that is exactly, but I always choose team builder because I'm more of a team builder than whatever. So I thought I'd just go with the title that matches my style. And then in these settings right here, you guys won't need this. This will be deleted. So, you know, there's that. Skill style, all Madden normally. And then you could change this. If you're going to play, I recommend somewhere around 10 if you want realism or anything like that. But if you're just going to be simulating through, doing rebuilds, whatever it is, 8 minutes is fine. It's default on 6, but I just go to 8. And then you can kind of go down here, dynamic home field advantage. When on, dynamic momentum and home field advantage will work normally. When off, dynamic momentum and home field advantage will be disabled. For momentum reasons, I think it is.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
So if you guys don't know, I play on PC, and this is the first time around with next gen on PC. So you get that momentum bar now, or I do at least. And I don't know if this really takes it away or takes the extra 1 away that you get for home field advantage and all that good stuff. So I like that a lot, that you can, you know, change it if you wanted to. Season experience right here is really good. Weekly training, you can have all this stuff. You could have this very customized, very different in your own liking. Manage practice reps. Holy shit, I cannot speak. Auto progress players, you could turn on. Auto progress talents would be quite good. So progress your team's talent throughout the season. Exactly what that means, I don't know, because it doesn't tell you. It just tells you what the fuck you're turning on using the same words and saying you could turn it on or off when that's the only 2 options. It doesn't make sense. Tutorial pop-offs or pop-ups, I always have turned off. I know everything there is to know, except what the hell auto progress talents means. Then more of the basic stuff like trade deadline, trade type, you can enable all. And then trade difficulty, I will be messing with this and releasing a video on the quote-unquote best Madden 24 franchise settings. And then salary cap, pretty easy, you know, if you want to turn on or off. Pretty self-explanatory as well. Practice squad stealing, if someone else early season or late season, you see someone you like at like a 68 overall, he's 22 years old, he's on someone's practice squad, you could take him. If you turn that off, say he's on the Bills practice squad and I'm on the Packers, I cannot take it. But if he's on this practice squad, the Bills practice squad, and I have this on, I can take him. It's custody battle, either win or lose. And then a big one here with relocation settings, you could turn on everyone, so everyone can do it, and you can go through and manually do everything you need to. Might take a bit, but you could do it. Staff talent cost modifier, so you can just do, you see what over there, it says multiply, it's right above me actually up there, multiply the amount of staff points needed to purchase each talent. Slowest is 3 times, slower is 2 times, slow is 1.5 times, normal is 1 time, and then fast is 0.5. So everything would cost half, you know, half of what it normally is for fast, I believe. And then you know, you slow it down, it's 2 times, slower it's 3 times, or slower it's 2 times, whatever. You get the gist, I think, I hope. Injury, you can have off. Practice injury off. You can, I normally have this off during stuff, but now that we have the ability to, you know, where is it, I don't know where it is, but you can turn off auto rearrange the stupid freaking right here, reorder depth chart. You can do that. I would rather have this on manual so it doesn't it was so pissed, it pissed me off so much last year, I'm not gonna lie. But right here, prospect storylines, I love having on. That's a good feature. Progressive fatigue, I have on normally. Pre-existing injury, you can kind of do whatever you want with this, but I normally run with settings like this if I'm going to start a rebuild or whatever, because when someone's injured, so say you have like Zach Martin or someone that's currently injured, or, you know, any example out there, I'm not even sure if Zach Martin's injured or not, but if he is, I wouldn't be able to trade him. So if I had it off, I could trade him. And then practice injury, I just have turned off, like I said, for depth chart reasons, because it would always rearrange it. But now that that doesn't happen, I don't know what I'll do about practice injury. I'll probably just still have it off. Draft timer, you can have off, so you can have all the time in the world, and then you'd have to do the simulating for each pick. It's kind of confusing, but I think you'd get the gist of it. If you turn it off, you'd understand the big differences. Fantasy draft order, you can turn it into a snake draft, which you guys don't know is 1 through 32, and then 32 through 1. So the first round would go 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. And then the second round would go 32, 31, 30, 29, etc. all the way down to 1. That makes sense. And then free agent negotiations on stage 1, 2, and 3. Basically, if you guys don't know, you go into free agency and you have only 5 contracts to negotiate. You can change that to 10. You can change that to 3. So I realistically think it's somewhere around 3 to 5. So I'd keep this here. And then on stage 2, I like the 10. And then on stage 3, unlimited's fine. You can go pick up anybody you want that is remaining in free agency. So stage 1 is week 1, specifically for free agency. You can only negotiate 5 different contracts with 5 different players. And then you can only do 10 for the stage 2, which is basically the second week. And then stage 3, you'd have unlimited. So you could do whatever the frick it is you want to do. League type, all, you know, you can do whatever you want. CPU only. Coach firing, I just have that on. You can just coach. You can just fire your coach. Like, I don't know, really. Full on-field control, I have that on. So when you hop in and play, you can have, you know, full control over everything, over everyone. But if you were to do players, so if you want to do a franchise with a player, this is very important that you turn off, because if you're playing quarterback, it would have you playing the whole team still. So if you want to turn that off just so you could play quarterback, that's what I'd recommend. Dev trait management right here, breakout scenarios there, and then I'd normally turn that off. Superstar abilities on, minimum roster size, in-season player movement limit. Doesn't really matter how many times you can add or remove from their team each week during the regular season. Recommended setting for multi-user league, 4 players per week, which is understandable, but if you're just doing it in one by yourself, if you want to start one with friends, you can try experimenting with some of this stuff. But other than that, you should be pretty good. And then fill roster, I just have on because the CPU will automatically just sign a few people to fill up your roster, so that way you don't have, like, when you go to trade later in the season and you go to trade a safety and he's your required amount, and then you can't trade him, and then you have to go all the way to free agency, sign the contract, get back, make the trade, switch his position, whatever it could be. And so I just have that on because it's just helpful. And then we'll head into it and see more of a breakdown of the settings here, because there is more. So right here, even when you first hop in, there's training camp and preseason, and you can go through and start doing all these by yourself if you want to upgrade different skill points. So if you get gold, it's +1 skill points, which is basically an upgrade to the player that you choose. So if I were to go into target passing here, I could choose Sean Clifford, and then if I were to go out with gold, I would get a skill point and he would get upgraded, if that makes sense. So it's nothing major. It doesn't really matter. Most of the time, I will probably just, you know, simulate through this, and hopefully, you know, it works. Like, well, I know they won't get gold every time, but, you know, if they could, that'd be great. But other than that, there's nothing real different. Managed team is a little different, though, because right here, you could rebuild your stadium. Lambeau could definitely use it, but you can also relocate. And I'm not sure if this is only at the beginning of the year. So here we are, Houston, which is different because there's already a team in Houston. It doesn't make sense. You can keep going down. Mexico City would be quite nice. Argentina, that would be insane. Fan interest is up there. In Brazil, that was kind of cringe by me. It doesn't matter. We keep moving. Memphis would be quite fun. Orlando, San Juan, Rio de Janeiro. I don't know if that's correct or not, but we're going back through all of them. You can kind of do whatever you want. Oakland, go back to Oakland. That'd be cool. Sacramento would be quite fun. Portland, Vancouver, in Alaska, you can make a team. Honolulu, Hawaii, that would be insane. Tokyo, Melbourne, Australian would be quite fun. That'd be really fun. So a lot of very fun options. Obviously, London, Paris, Dublin, and Ireland. I should be better at that accent. Montreal, Toronto would be quite fun. Brooklyn, Virginia Beach, Canton, Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, Chicago, Louisville. You get the gist. There is a lot you can do, and that would be so fun to dive into. And then also rebuilding a stadium. Right here, you can kind of change how you want it to be. They need to update those pictures. They look a little grainy, so maybe some better blueprints and whatnot would be a little bit better, but those graphics are fine as is. You know, it's fine. And then the big ones over here is when you go to franchise settings, and we'll just hop through these ones right here. These ones in specific are ones I want to dive into. I'm trying out new ones on another franchise right now that I'm about to record a video on. So heads up on that. I'll be testing some different stuff there. So offensive progression XP rate. So if you wanted to give the quarterbacks, I think this was available back in past Maddens as well. If you wanted to give quarterbacks more of an advantage and say they want to progress quicker, boom, they just progress 140 out of 300. The typical's 100%. So you kind of get the gist here. Player skills improves as they gain experience, XP. So to reduce the rate, you'd go down to slow progression. So you don't want them to get upgraded as fast, turn it down. But if you want them to upgrade faster, get more XP quicker, is how you do it up. And you could do that for each position, and then progression on defense as well, even on special teams. But this is pretty big right here. Age, progression, XP rate. So at 20 years old, so players at 20 years old would learn, 130, so 30 ticks, I guess, over 100. At 21, you can have them go to 140. At 22, some would say this is where your learning is at 22 and 23. So you do 150 for there, and then they kind of slow down about here, here, and here. Coming to the league at 20 years old, they learn at 130 out of 300, when the typical is 100 out of 300. So you can kind of choose how much XP they get for the age. Plus, if it's a, say you want to upgrade the quarterback's XP right here, right? So say you want them to just get 150. All right, so that's 50 more than normal. Plus, say they're 24, and you want them to progress like crazy in year 3 or 4 of their career, whatever it is. At age 24, a quarterback will get 200 plus the 150 that we already did on the whole progression thing. So it's really interesting, and then you can go up even if you wanted to with progression, but offensive regression. All right, so regression we're into now, and you can say quarterbacks regress way slower. So what you're going to do is you're going to turn it down to slow their regression. Halfbacks, complete opposite. They get out of the league so quick. They have very short primes, so they start to regress immediately. Halfbacks here, I'd have at 150. And then tight ends, perhaps 90, because they aren't as fast. Wide receivers, I'd keep somewhere around 100. Tackles, I'd slow down a little bit. You see Trent Williams still in the league. Tyron Smith, just, you can go on with that list. Guards, even 90. Centers, 90, even 80. Guys like Travis Kelce. And then I think that the Raiders center, I forgot his name. I think he's been in for a long time. So there's just all this stuff that you can go through and you can do, but age regression rate is a big one right here, and I'd start probably here, and then kind of just do this, and then if they're still kicking it in year 30 or whatever, then I'd start to do something like that to even it out. So 110 starting at 28, just increased by 10, then 20 at 29, and then 30 at 30 years old, and then I'd keep it at 30 for another year, and then start to slow regression. That way, if they already made it past these years, then it just doesn't really work. It kind of evens out at the end of the day. So those are some pretty important settings. I know this video is probably going on a little longer than you guys would have hoped to, or what I even would have hoped to. Another big one here, though, is edit draft class strength. Everybody knows what gameplay sliders is. You can go in there, you mess with those. It's pretty damn simple and self-explanatory. But right here, this is huge. This is for the draft class. You can tweak them. So if you think that the quarterbacks or anything like that, if you think that the class is horrible, your typical Madden auto-generated class is horrible at quarterback, boom, make it strong, or boom, make it very strong. Or if you think they're too good, make it weak. You can do that for any position. It's crazy. You can basically just generate a whole, but like, dude, if you wanted to, you can go very strong, very strong, very strong, very strong. You can do that all the way through for every position, have a really good draft class. So I think that this is really, really cool and a great feature to add. Anyways, for now, I don't think there's anything else. I may be forgetting a few things, so if you have any questions, comment down below in the comments. That'd be much appreciated. But before then, make sure to consider leaving a like and subscribing. It would help me out a bunch. And like I said, first video of 3 today, so hopefully you guys enjoy. That'll be it for me. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see y'all. Deuces.